right, welcome everybody. It is the Francis Revels-Bey show. Usually we're here at 12 noon, so for about 30 minutes. But I had such a great time this weekend, I figured I needed a little rest. So we're now on live at 1:16 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're on the Pacific Coast, it's 12:16 p.m. Central Time Zone, it's 2:16 p.m. And if it's the East Coast, it's 3:16 p.m. 316 is my birthday, so that's a good number for you if you're on the East Coast tuning in right now. Today's episode is I Decree, Create, and Manifest. And this is something that I've been using for some time and sharing with people that I mentor or teach in my various surroundings online or on the phone, and that I've taught for some time now, since about 2008. But before we get into teaching it today in this short program, if you need to contact me, you can do so by emailing me at iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at yahoo.com, or iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end again at gmail.com. I have a Skype internet phone number. That's 973-685-5978. And if you'd like to listen to a special 2-minute spiritual prayer and meditational decree, just call 505-717-4722, and that is pertaining to the Circle of Grace One Spiritual and Metaphysical Ministry, which was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. It also gave birth to its very own Spiritual and Metaphysical Institute, which has 5 tiers or 5 levels to it, and that was on February the 7th, 2009. And at the time when they were founded in, the Institute was founded in Newark, New Jersey, when I was there. And of course, the Spiritual and Metaphysical Ministry was founded when I was on Long Island, New York, in 1999. Well, welcome and greetings of divine grace and remembrance for all of you that are tuning in. May you be blessed this day, the day after Cinco de Mayo out here in the New Mexico Southwest area, wherever you might be in the United States or abroad. May you be blessed always with anything that you're doing, whatever the I Am presence has laid upon your heart, upon your soul, in your remembrance, in your cellular memory, that you could now put forth on the planet to help raise the consciousness. But be sure you raise your consciousness. Be sure you clear yourself, purify your energy, so that you can really and truly help others. Amen. Well, today's show, of course, is I Decree, Create, and Manifest. And this will be in the archives for anyone who's not able to listen to it live right now. But as soon as we get offline, you'll be able to do so. One of the things that you might have an opportunity to do with me in the future, as I get a little more comfortable with this, I'll be able to chat with you live online here through Spreaker.com for the Francis Revels-Bey show. So anytime that I'm on live and you're on live and able to listen through the website, you will be able to send me a direct message or a question that pertains to anything that I'm doing on the show. So, through divine power and by divine grace, we begin these decrees. I decree, create, and manifest. Through divine power and by divine grace, I call the Holy Mother of Divine Grace and the Holy Father of Deliverance and Providence to decree and create right now total restoration of every cell, every organ, every nerve cell, every muscle, every tendon and gland, every bone, and every part. And when we say every part of, that's your name, where your name will come in. Or maybe you want to utilize this for a family member, a loved one, a friend, someone that needs some assistance. And when you place that name there, it continues to be restored by the pure breath of God's holy, sacred, and divine grace. And when I use God, it's the divine presence known as God, whatever God is to you. God eliminates all discomfort. God eliminates all pain. God eliminates all dis-ease. God eliminates that which is not of God. And Christ in my body, mind, soul, spirit, and life. That is what the Christ, meaning the anointed part of you, that carries forth the unconditional love, the divine presence of unconditional love throughout your body, mind, soul, spirit, and life. I call forth all of God's archangels, Raphael to heal all, Michael to protect all, Gabriel to balance and harmonize all, and Uriel to center it all in the name of God. And God, again, to you is divine presence within you, that greater I am presence inside of each and every one of us. I call forth all of God's archangels to surround me. Place your name there. With the living healing waters of the Christ, and anoint all of me with it now. Forsake me not, heal me. Embrace me and heal me now, right here and right now. I now claim, proclaim, and decree total transformation, renewal, and restoration. Create and manifest perfect health. Restore the fullness of life, light, health, and unconditional love according to God's divine grace. Amen. It shall be. Amen. So, that is a decree that I just read to you in those few moments. But now let's break it down a little bit. As you noticed here, I call the Holy Mother of Divine Grace and the Holy Father of Deliverance and Providence to decree and create right now. Well, when we think of that, the Holy Father, the Holy Mother, these are just attributes that have been given to the greater and the more infinite I am presence. Because all we see around us here in this illusion is man, woman, boy, girl, or mother, father, sister, brother. So you see these four components, and each one of these components carry all of the attributes of the divine within them. And this has been known from each mystical order of ancient times all the way to the present time. Those that have been a part of quote-unquote secret societies have studied these principles and have applied them all the time. And you yourself are applying them all the time. So nothing is really a secret unto you. Secret means just something that's beyond your physical eyes. That, in fact, is what the word occult means. The word occult means ocu is your ocular, is your eyes, you see. So when we say occult, it means something that's hidden from your physical means through your eyes. You physically can't see it, but you can smell it, perhaps you can taste it, you could touch it, you could hear it. So it's beyond your sense. It's beyond almost your five physical senses, but it's beyond your eyes. So it's also the word see, S-E-E, symbolically means to understand. So what is it that you see? What is it that you understand? Or what is it that you don't understand? You don't see. You don't get it. So here, when we have this opportunity to look at this, we say the Holy Mother of Divine Grace and the Holy Father of Deliverance and Providence is really all one and the same. All one and the same is decreeing throughout the universe the empowerment and the ability to create and to manifest and then to have something materialize. Okay? Now, the beauty of it is that it's always in motion. There's some part of it within each and every one of us that is infinite, that is doing this all the time. So that means you decree and create right now, because everything is in the now time, in this moment. It's not in the past in your consciousness. You could think about it in the foreseeable future, or what appears to be the future, but it's going on right now. This is why all the mystics, all the sages, all the great spiritual women and men have taught for many, many years, from century to century, is what you do at this very moment has a greater impact on what you're about to do right after that moment. And just about everything that you do trickles out and connects and impacts it directly or indirectly. And we see that by just going to a placid lake in your area. If there's water in your area, you see a lake or just a pond or just where there's water there upon the earth, and you take something that's heavy enough in weight, like a pebble, and you throw it out into that placid area, and what do you get upon the impact? What do you see is rings of energy. Rings of energy going out to their furthest point. It represents like a vibration of frequency. And if you see this enough, it has to hit something and then kind of come back. Okay? And so we see this vibratory expression happening around us all the time. And so this is why it's good for us to understand. The Holy Mother and the Holy Father is really the oneness parts of ourselves. It is the greater and more infinite yin is meeting up with the greater, more infinite yang quality. And wedded together, they produce the children, or the light itself. It is being expressed in a very infinite state. We go on to say here total restoration. When we talk about total restoration is the act of restoring something to its original, getting it back to its original state. So something to have total restoration means without a doubt, without any illusion in your mind, that it's going to be what it once was, an infinite form, an infinite entity, an infinite being, an infinite presence. And so you're restoring it back through what? The power of your own faith that you have about it. And faith is what you know to be true, right? Through your experiences, you see truth happening around you all the time. And truth in itself is a principle. So you see the truth, and faith then becomes not only a principle, but an active principle. It's in motion. You see it. It's a divine spark in motion. In fact, if you slice off that H, take that H out of there, which is a letter of breath in itself, and see fait, you get a French word in there, and fait is like to do. So faith means you have this ability to act on something, to do something based on what you know to be true. And something that is true is ongoing. It never changes. Truth never changes. In some studies I used to do many moons ago, years ago, they said truth doesn't pass away, doesn't fade away. It always is. It never changes, but truth can change everything else around it. So we get back to this total restoration of every cell, every organ, every nerve cell, every muscle, every tendon and gland, every bone, and every part of them. You think of your name or a loved one's name that you want to, for this to have its impact and have its influence, and to assist that being to move forward in their life, to free themselves from stagnation, but specifically right now to utilize on yourself, to free yourself, because that's more important. Freeing yourself first. It's like you can free another person, but then you're still stuck. You got to free yourself. You can free yourself, then you can help free someone else. So here we're talking about the first thing called into this total restoration was every cell. Well, every bone has a cell. The bone marrow has cells. The heart is made up of cells. The lining of your organs are made up of cells. The nerves and the nerve endings are made up of cells. The hair and the hair follicles are made up of cells. The skin is made up of cells. Your nails and your bones are made up of cells. Your lymph glands, everything in you is made up of a cell. And a cell is the most perfect unit. In that cell is like the holographic design in that cell that replicates itself, like the Fibonacci code, just continuous. And so we know that if you can restore a cell in its totality, then that cell being replicated there in its purest form can then impact everything else in its environment, in its surroundings. So then we say here to be restored by the pure breath of God's holy, sacred, and divine grace. The pure breath of God's holy. When we think of the word God, I'm not thinking just a stabilized religious form, but it is the I am presence in all of us, that divine cosmic presence, that universal being, that universal light force that's in every one of us. That is the pure breath. It and create what is holy, what is sacred, create what is of divine grace in your life. It is that which has the ultimate infinite divine consciousness and intelligence and being and presence in you that eliminates all discomfort. So once you know the truth, discomfort can be gone. Once you know the truth, then you can have pain eliminated. Once you know the truth, all dis-ease, anything that doesn't make it easy and effortless can be gotten rid of, can be overwhelmed and overcome and turned into something better. Okay? God eliminates that which is not of God, not of the Christ in my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, and life. That means the consciousness of the Christ. The consciousness of the Buddhic levels. That means you're having full, total awareness of everything that's in your environment, in your surroundings. Patricia Aquavivas, I think it is. If you just happen to be listening to this is Brother Francis Revels-Bey, and I bid you divine grace blessings. And so, we say here, forsake me not, meaning don't forget about me, heal me. We don't have to really forget about being forgotten about, because we're never forgotten about. Our divine presence is always causing us to be wholly present and wholly aware. So it says, heal me, make me whole, embrace me, and heal me now, right here and right now. So we are all seeking to be embraced, and we know the divine intelligence flows from emotional intelligence. So if you hug somebody, you're what? Sharing what? The love. You're sharing unconditional love. You're sharing healing power. You're receiving healing power, and you're giving healing power to those who you meet, heart to heart. And this is why people embrace like that, from heart to heart. It appears they're going left shoulder to left shoulder, but it's from your heart to heart. And that's what it's about. Hearts connecting with other hearts. You feel more grounded. You feel more centered. You feel more calm. You feel more relaxed. You feel more love. You have the ability to express and give more love. Because what you're doing this through your heart, you're showing compassion. So even when you're decreeing, creating, and manifesting and materializing, it's because you have compassion. You have the capacity to what? Pass on the love, the charged love that's flowing from you to others. And this is highly important to remember. So now you're ready to say, I now claim. It means you're taking it in. And I proclaim. It means you're for the claiming of this. And then you say, I decree. So I now claim, proclaim, and decree. A decree is what? A divine authoritative statement without any doubt in your mind. There are no illusions to what you're saying. There are no untruths. You know what you're saying is true. Why? Because you have experienced that truth through your own demonstration of faith. Faith is your life's experiences. Total transformation. Your form has changed. That's what transformation means. The act of changing your form, transcending, going beyond your physical. That's what metaphysical is about. Meta means beyond. So anything that's metaphysical is what? Helping to transform you. Renewal. Creating a newness of your mind, the way you think, the way you see, which is the way you understand, the way you hear, the way you take in information, the way you go about receiving or gathering that information. And then it says, and restoration. So as I now claim, proclaim, and decree total transformation, renewal, and restoration, which means we're always working on ourselves. This is why one can't really save another. But if you are working on yourself all the time, then you have the ability to assist others to help them do the same for themselves. And that's what it's really about, helping yourself. Because if you could help yourself, then you could help someone else. And those around you could see that what you're doing with yourself is something that's not just good, but is very beneficial. And whatever you're doing, bless you, blessing you for them to be ignited by what they see going on in your life. So therefore they develop the compassion, the capacity to carry the compassion, to carry divine grace forward in their own life, and to work upon themselves, so that there's a greater wholeness, a greater completion, a greater ability to create more opportunities for themselves. So create, manifest perfect health. Restore the fullness of life. Light, health. Health, you see the word health, and there's heal. And health and heal deals with wholeness. You have to have completion in your life so that you can move on to the next stage. And unconditional love according to God's divine grace. So what is grace? Grace is not just what people talk about, favor. I have a lot of favor. I'm blessed and highly favored. Well, so is everybody else. You're not the only one. When you hear people say, I'm blessed and highly favored, this is not putting those people down, but it's a reminder that everybody is blessed and highly favored when you have the truth about yourself, when you can free yourself, right? When you can help yourself become more whole, more infinitely whole, more healthy in your life, then you're blessed too. And you're no longer lowly favored, you're also highly favored too. But what is a greater blessing is when you can help someone else bless themselves too, with the wisdom that's been instituted in their lives as a part of them, that's embedded in their subconscious, embedded in every cellular memory inside their body. When you can help somebody go back to the state of their own divine consciousness, divine awareness, you're doing something that no quote unquote medical society can do, no educational institution can do, because it is the divine that's in you that's going to do the job, that's going to bring out the beauty and the wholeness that's always been there inside of every being, every entity that's here. So this is why we've seen in many ancient civilizations, like those of you that understand martial arts, why you see like in the karate systems and the kung fu systems that they study the animals. Like in Tai Chi, you have the swan, you have in other forms of internal martial arts. There's the bear, so many. The energy of the dragon, the energy of the tiger, the energy of so many other animals, snake energy, whatever you want to call them, whatever image or bird or nature forms that they have studied. They see it and they've applied it to their martial arts. Then you have the sun and the moon energy that you study with Qigong, and the planetary energy and the earth energy, and the solar, the galactic energy. So you're connecting yourself to all of these beautiful splendors, these spheres of splendorous things, splendorous energy that you have, that you've been blessed to work with, that you chose to be born into this environment, that you can utilize to help de-stress yourself, help heal and create wholeness and completion for yourself. And then in turn, because of who you are, who you have become, you then, through time, through moment to moment, minute to minute, second to second, your energy influences and impacts those who are around you, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, and so on. Even the beautiful animals around you are giving you beauty and harmony in your life, giving you that oneness, that one-mindedness that they have, the ability just to give love in that moment. That is the highest frequency that can be expressed on this planet. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. This was a special edition. I decree, create, manifest. This is the Circle Grace 1 episode. I believe this is episode 14 or 15 for the Francis Revels-Bey show. Well, until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this show, whether it was live or recorded in the archives. See you next week at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time for the Francis Revels-Bey show.